Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Windarti. Here I will explain the meaning and characteristic of the noun clause. What does a noun clause mean? A noun clause is a dependent clause that contains a subject and a verb. A noun clause functions as noun in a sentence. A noun clause cannot stand alone because it is not a complete dog. It must always be paired with an independent clause. What way can a noun clause operate? A noun clause can operate just the same as an ordinary noun will. This means they can be the subject of a sentence, the direct object of a verb, or the object of a preposition. Below, we have outlined some of the more popular ways you will see noun clause in sentence. In example, you can identify the sentences that contains a noun clause in italics. In order to make it easier to recognize a noun clause, there are several characteristics of a noun clause that must be understood. First, it depends on other sentences in front of or behind it so that it has meaning. The second, has its own subject and verb. The third, function as a noun in a sentence. And the fourth, starting with the noun clause marker. Next material will be explained by Tarisa. Please, Tarisa, explain your material.
After discussing about the meaning, function, and the characteristic of the noun clause, this time I want to tell you about the formula of the noun clause. On the previous section, we have already mentioned it about the noun clause marker. Well, the noun clause marker is what be the basis of the noun clause formula. The details, you can see the noun clause formula below. Noun clause marker are the words that are commonly used to start noun clause. Types of the noun clause marker includes question word, if or whether, and that. If you look at the dependent clause preceded by these words, it means dependent clause is a noun clause. Okay, as we already know, the question word includes what, why, where, who, when, and how, but not limited to that only question words. The words like whoever, whatever, whichever, and wherever is also includes the question word. Okay, the next explanation about the use of the noun clause will be explained by Nadia Fadila.
Okay, thank you Tarisa. Hello, my name is Nadia Fadila. I will explain the material about noun clause marker. Noun clause marker consists of three types, namely question word, whether or if, and that. Here, I will explain whether or if and that. Apart from the question word, the next noun clause marker were whether or if. Whether or if, they have the same meaning and can be used interchangeably. We use the noun clause beginning with whether or if when we answer a yes or no question. Whether or if, it aims to provide alternative answer to yes or no question. When we are not sure, we can answer with a definite yes or no answer. The difference between whether and if, that is, whether to end by or not after the subject and the verb. Noun clause that begin with whether can function as the subject or object of the sentence, while the noun clause that begin with if is followed by a subject and verb as usual and can only be used as a sentence object. Example of using whether or if in conversation are: Aulia, I can't believe I am going to watch my favorite band. Berlin, me too. Aulia, by the way, is Sena coming? Berlin, I don't know if Sena is coming. In the conversation, Berlin answered, I don't know if Sena is coming. Form that sentence, I don't know if Sena is coming, with I as the subject, don't know as the verb, and if Sena is coming as the object. Can it if replaced with whether? Really can, because if and whether can be used interchangeably with a noun clause. If Sena is coming, we replace it with whether Sena is coming and add the ending or not. Next is the noun clause starting with that. Noun clause begin with that. It can also act as a subject or object in a sentence. If that is placed in front of the verb, it functions as the subject of the sentence. Whereas, if that is placed behind the verb, it functions as a sentence object. Example of using that as an object, namely, I think that the earth is round. And example of using that as subject, namely, that the earth is round is a fact. Okay, that's all the material I can explain. The next material will be explained by Tri Handayani.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here I will explain about the subject noun clause and object noun clause. The first, subject noun clause. Subject noun clause is a noun clause which acts as a subject. However, noun clause is a dependent clause. Without the object, the noun clause would be negate. Example, when she will come is still unsure. When she will come, it is subject noun clause. 2. Wherever you go is you who have to decide. At whatever you go, it is subject noun clause. The second, object noun clause. As opposite to a noun clause object and object noun clause act as an object in a sentence, usually a set that an objective noun clause. It is location behind the independent clause, and to tell you the truth, the object noun clause is direct than the subject noun clause. Example, I could decide when to go to festival. When to go to festival was the object noun clause. 2. I just tell me whatever street you are referring. On whatever street you are referring, it is the object noun clause. Thank you. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next material will be explained by Nina Ngahirani.
Thank you for invite to Tri Handayani. Before I explain, sebelumnya perkenalkan, nama saya Nina Ngahirani. Saya di sini akan explain the difference of material from noun clause regarding the complement noun clause and the object of proposition of noun clause. Nah, pertama kita akan membahas mengenai complement noun clause atau melengkapi klausa kata benda. Complement noun clause sendiri yaitu is a noun clause that is added to a phrase further information about the co-independent clause associated with it. Artinya, complement noun clause ini adalah noun clause yang ditambahkan untuk memberikan
informasi lebih jauh tentang independent clause yang berhubungan dengannya. Unlike the previous types of noun clause, the complement noun clause defines of independent clause. Nah, independent noun clause ini sendiri berbeda dengan noun clause yang sebelumnya. Complement noun clause ini memberikan definisi atau independent clause. Untuk contohnya sendiri yaitu example number 1. The champion is named who will be given toward people that never give up, yang artinya sang juara adalah nama yang akan diberikan kepada orang-orang yang pantang menyerah. Nah, kenapa yang who will be given sama that never give up itu saya bold? Nah, di sana who will be given yang artinya yang akan diberikan, that never give up orang yang pantang menyerah. Nah, kalau kedua kata itu dihilangkan, itu kan jadinya the champion is the name toward people. Nah, ini sang juara adalah nama pada orang-orang. Itu kan jadinya ganjil kan kata-katanya. Jadi kita tuh melengkapinya dengan namanya juga complement noun clause, melengkapi klausa kata. Jadi kita tambahin who will be given sama that never give up. Ini kan lengkap nih, namanya katanya tidak menggantung. Sang juara adalah nama yang akan diberikan kepada orang-orang yang pantang menyerah. Atau dalam bahasa Inggrisnya, the champion is the name who will be given toward people that never give up. Untuk contoh yang kedua yaitu the cat with fur is so soft and teeth are usually the Angora family. Nah, artinya di situ kucing yang bulunya sangat lembut dan tebal biasanya berasal dari keluarga Angora. Nah, the cat, nah itu kan with fur is so soft and teeth, itu saya bold, itu menandakan dia adalah kata yang melengkapi. Nah, misalnya kata itu dihilangi, berarti kan the cat are usually the Angora family. Nah, kucing yang berasal dari keluarga Angora. Kurang lengkap rasanya kalimat itu. Ini ditambahi kucing yang bulunya sangat lembut dan tebal biasanya berasal dari keluarga Angora. Ya. The cat with fur is so soft and teeth are usually Angora family. Ya, kata-kata itu lengkap gitu. Yang selanjutnya yaitu kita membahas mengenai object of proposition noun clause atau objek dari proposisi kata benda klausa. Object of proposition noun clause is a noun clause that makes the object of the proposition of or for. Artinya, objek dari proposition noun clause adalah noun clause yang menjadikan objek dari proposisi of atau for. For klarifikasi, here is an example of the application from the object of proposition noun clause. Number 1, I will pick for what I am sure it is the real truth. Artinya, saya akan berjuang untuk apa yang saya yakin itu kebenaran yang sebenarnya. Misalnya kan, setelah kata for itu ada what I am sure it is the real truth. Nah, itu saya for karena dia menandakan kata dari object of proposition of noun clause. Nah, ya, what I am sure it is the real truth. Apa yang saya yakin itu kebenaran yang sebenarnya. Nah, number 1, Jadi contohnya ada yang di awal, ada yang di akhir, ada yang di awal. Nah, contoh yang kedua ini dia katanya di awal. Nah, contoh, for what I am thinking, I will did not stop believing in it. Artinya, untuk apa yang saya pikirkan, saya tidak akan berhenti mempercayainya. Jadi kan katanya di awal, for what I am thinking. Nah,